What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the show. This is Own It with your host, me, Samantha Warren. And today we're going to go into another vulnerable share behind the scenes of like what's actually going on in my life as a founder and as a wife, and really just peeling back the curtain because I know the last vulnerable update that I did, y'all resonated. And I'm in this era of just being radically fucking honest. And so I've really been reflecting on what is the most present for me right now, and it is what happens when you hit your max capacity. So, we're going to have a conversation today about what does it mean to actually hit your capacity? Likely the fact that your capacity is much bigger than you think. I've learned this so much through running and working out, and just kind of like how I'm managing it because I don't necessarily have a literal solution for you because I'm still in it. But I can share with you how I'm navigating it and how you can navigate it too, because I think as leaders and entrepreneurs, we are constantly hitting our own glass ceilings and asking ourselves, well, how the fuck do we break through the ceiling and go to the next level? So we're going to sit down and talk about that today. So if you're new here, welcome. This show is definitely raw, unapologetic, and like you are my best friend sitting next to me on the couch. I'm just giving it to you straight. And I also share nuggets of truth and wisdom and value and hopefully help you move along this journey called life in a more peaceful way, through my own experience and life lessons. It's, yeah, really, I started this show way back when in 2018 to just share my experience and as a personal trainer and a health coach. And it's evolved. I mean, we're on episode 330 or something. It's crazy to me. We're almost approaching the 9-year anniversary of the show. So, um, yeah. And I think, something I've been reflected to recently is that, oh my God, that's so many episodes. That's so many episodes. And it is, it totally is. And it's definitely in the minority. I think, I have a podcast company, right? Where I help people start and grow them and really build brands around their voice. And so it's just a testament to the fact that I love what I do. I love the world, the art of podcasting. And so I think ultimately the only way to be consistent on anything is to actually truly love it because you want to show up and you want to do it. So just a little nugget there. But yeah, I'm definitely hitting my capacity. And I think that we often pray or hope, oh my God, I just want everything to work and grow and this and that. And I always tell any of my clients who are in this place, I'm like, I just don't want you to want things to explode because I am telling you, your body will have a freak out, especially if you don't have the nervous system tools. And I will explain what those are in a second, but the actual tools in your body to be able to hold how much that is. We all want more impact, more visibility, more influence, more money, whatever, more love. But the thing is can you actually hold that? And oftentimes, the thing we think we want, we still want it, but we're actually not prepared for it yet. That's why we haven't received it. And so, over the last 18 months or so, I really have been prepping my physical body and my mental body, emotional body, and even like spiritual body through prayer and deepening my connection to God of how can I prepare myself to really hold the bigness of my own vision and mission and what I feel like God is using me to do. I was sharing I had a birthday dinner on Friday, and I was like, I feel at some points like, oh my God, like who am I to lead this whole big thing? But I like that's what God's asking me to do. And so I'm just being an obedient little servant and just doing it. And it means that I'm being stretched in such uncomfortable ways, but it's like I love the work that I'm doing. And so I know it's on the right path. Um, but yeah, like Friday was a beautiful day. I had my birthday dinner. I invited all my really close girlfriends and people that have had an impact in my life since moving to Colorado. I moved, I not moved. I invited them to celebrate with me for my birthday, and it was just so beautiful. They did this thing called a honey roast. I think that's what it's called. where they all like roasted me, but did it like with love. It was so precious. I cried multiple times. And I just was like, I felt so blessed at just the women that have come into my life. And that's only a result of me really showing up as who I truly am and attracting really other awesome like women who live from their heart and are just so beautiful and magical and also witchy. Um and so Friday was such a like, oh, beautiful moment. And then Saturday, I was in a speaker training all day for like 8 hours. And when I got home, I was just exhausted. I've been going. And I got home and Kurt was like, go in the bath. I made you a bath. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, and I'm cooking dinner. And, if you've heard me talk about Kurt before on the show, like, I don't ask this man to do those things. He is just a fucking man. And it is wild to me. And I've had to move through my own stuff around just fully receiving that because it sometimes is like, oh my God, like it's like, wow, this is so much receiving and so much love and I'm just so not used to that. And so anyways, I got like distracted. He's like, "Sam, go in the bath. Like you can organize that stuff later." Like classic me. So I go take a bath and I was coloring in the bath and yeah, just like after that, I just was like, he's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I just need a good cry." Like, I think I'm just really overwhelmed. There's so many beautiful things happening in my life. There's nothing that's like, oh my God. It's just, there's a lot of a lot. And so I've really had to remind myself that I can do it, remind myself that I'm capable, remind myself that I am being supported by not just the people in my life, but by the divine and that I wouldn't be given all the opportunities and all of the beautiful expansion in the company if I wasn't meant to have it. And and so I've really had to like breathe into that and just be like just trust it, you know? And also like trust God more. Like I was literally Googling this morning, like how can I develop a deeper relationship with God? And I think it's actually just having a deeper relationship to trust because I always know that everything will always work out. It literally always worked out because just think about it. Like if you look back in your life, everything's always worked out. But I think there's a part of me that doesn't feel like I can be fully supported. And so because of that, I think I take on too much or I don't know even how to take stuff off my plate because I'm so used to doing it. And though I have an incredible team, I know that I could be utilizing them better. And so I'm learning how to do that and be that. And yeah, so anyways, after I get out of the bath and I tell Kurt about the cry, I just had a fucking meltdown, like full blown snot. You know how it goes when you have one of those. And I'm just like, I said something to him. I forget exactly the context, but ultimately I was annoyed because I wanted to like talk with him more or something. And he told me he was going downstairs and I was like, okay. And I never actually expressed that I wanted to talk with him because that is me exposing myself and like being really vulnerable in that ask. And he told me, he's like, well, why didn't you ask me? Like, why didn't you say, hey, Kurt, can you just stay up here for like, can we just talk for like 20 minutes, you know? And I was like, I think it's just because it's hard for me to ask for help. It's not hard for me to delegate, but it's actually hard for me to ask for help when I sometimes don't even know what I need. It's hard for me to message my friends and say, "Hey, I'm just going through this fucking weird thing. Can I just like vent slash riff and hopefully come to some clarity?" I I am usually that person for other people, and so I'm learning how to trust that even if I ask my friends for advice and I don't agree with their advice, I don't have to take it. It's going to help me get clarity in some way. And so, you know, we came to this, like, we ended up talking for like 2 hours and Kurt and I, and just coming to this realization of like, oh, okay, I actually want to get better at asking when I don't even know what I need. And I don't know if this is like an ADHD thing or if this is like a highly sensitive thing or what the fuck it is, but I often don't know what I need. And I think that's probably because I've neglected my own needs for so long and I'm so attuned to other people's needs. Like it's so easy for me to see. oh, do, 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 do. But for myself, like, oh, like I need to take a step back and spend more time with me, actually asking myself, what do I need? And this has been, I mean, I've been doing this for years now, like 2020 when I hired my first therapist ever. Like they were like, "Have you ever asked yourself what you need?" And I was like, "What does that even mean?" And so it's something that I have to keep relearning, and it's just at a deeper level. And especially in business, when you like when there's so much input happening and you're like, "Oh, fuck." Like it's so great, but then you're like, "Fuck, I need help." You know you need help, but for me, I'm like, "What do I actually need help on? Who do I need?" Right? And so it just takes time and space away from the day to day in the weeds to say, who is the person that I need to help me? And when I say need, I don't mean you literally need the person, but it's like what the business's needs are, right? Um, and I started Voice and Visibility almost 18 months ago after helping like 30 people start podcasts, just kind of like behind the scenes as my business coaching clients. And I just realized that that's where the most impact was for me and what I loved the most because I love the art of podcasting and I love the strategy of podcasting and building building something meaningful around your story and your message. And so what started as an agency kind of has shifted and evolved and it's become this company really that has so many arms. It's like an octopus. And I'm in the middle of I'm in the middle of like working in the business, right? But then also working on the business. And as an entrepreneur, um, you really need to be doing both. You need to be in the business, serving your clients and doing the things, but you also need to work on the business where you zoom out, strategize, plan, understand what's bogging you down and understand what's energizing you. And you need to constantly be doing both of those. And I just recognize that I've been spending so much time in the business because we have had so, fortunately, so many incredible humans want to start their shows with us that it's meant that I haven't had to market. Like I haven't really had to do a lot of that because we have so much demand, but it's also meant that I need to zoom out and bring someone in to help me and do all of the things, right? So I'm hitting my capacity in real time. And Saturday's breakdown was a result of this and me realizing, oh my God, I don't even know what I need. And so I've had to zoom out and really be like, what is it that I need? What is it that I need? And realizing, oh, wait, maybe I don't need this person. Maybe it's this role, or actually, I need another me, or actually, right? And so, while I am definitely not an expert on hiring, I have hired a lot of people, and I'm currently actually hiring for one of my clients who needs a podcast producer. And it's just been a huge learning curve. And I think that simultaneously, the business is expanding very quickly. What I'm holding is expanding very quickly. My own personal like brand, like me as a human through emceeing and speaking is people want more of that. People want to fly me to places and do that. And so I'm like, oh my God. And then also like serving my clients who are having amazing success. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, ah. And it's it's also simultaneously isolating because I'm like, okay, everything is fucking working. Everything is working and expanding all at the same time. And my only problems are how do I handle this growth? How do I handle this visibility? How do I handle the demand? And I prayed for this. Like I've prayed for this forever. And I truly believe it's because I'm in the thing that I love and I'm also in my genius. And I'm so excited about it. And I do believe that when we are in fun and joy, like it's magnetic and people want to be part of it and they want our help. And so, yeah, I think I'm just realizing like, wow, it can really be so easy and fun when we are doing what we truly love. And if you've listened to the show for a while, like I was an architect. I got my master's in architecture. I was a exhibition designer. I was a graphic designer. I was in design. So I have a lot of experience in design. Then I was a photographer and videographer. So I have a lot of experience in production, the actual, me behind the camera taking photos and videos of you, but then also the post production. I also have had a podcast for 9 years. So it's like I'm blending together all these skills plus I was a business consultant and business coach for 5 years. So it's like I'm blending all the things that I love, plus I read people. I am definitely an intuitive and a channel and all of those things. And so I can help somebody really be fully seen in their brand, which is a whole other thing, right? So it's like I'm using all my geniuses. And I think someone asked me recently, like, what do you think's kind of caused this explosive growth? And I'm like, I think it's just all of the pieces finally caught up and landed. I also think there's a grander plan. I also think like numerology, like there's so many things that I'm like, it's not just one thing, but I think it's a result of me doing what I love, me marketing. I'm great. I've been putting myself out there for so many years. And I think also really doubling down on the thing that I fucking love. And there's a lot of things I was doing that I didn't really love, and I love the creative direction and the production and, like, managing the talent, and so I think that's happened, but because of that, it's like, holy shit, talk about the floodgates opening. The floodgates are opened. Now, the problem is how do I manage and put structures and systems and the right team members in place? And while a company is growing quite quickly, it's a lot of thinking. It's honestly a lot of thinking. I need a lot of white space on my calendar, which I don't really have. I need also ideation and like masterminding with my friends, which I've been trying to build in. I need to work out. It's like all these fucking things. I'm like, oh my God, like, and I don't even have kids. I don't even have kids. So shout out to you if you are a mom, if you're a parent and you have kids and you're also doing all of this. I cannot comprehend it. I really don't know how I will have kids, and I don't think I will be able to sustain this, but I also know that you tap into like an extra reserve that you don't think you have. But I think that's kind of part of why I wanted to even do this episode in the first place is we are way fucking stronger than we think. This has been shown to me time and time again through the lens of fitness because I never thought in a million years I could run an ultra marathon. I ran almost 30 miles. I had never run more than like, I don't know. I was never a distance runner. So I showed myself what I was capable of. And I think fitness is always I mean, it's a parallel I'll always use because when you push yourself past your own personal mental limits, it shows you what the fuck you're capable of. And that is how you build confidence and self trust. And so I think that having an opportunity to be stretched, even though it doesn't feel good. It literally feels like your body is being stretched. That's how it feels. Like I'm like, oh my God, like fuck. It's uncomfortable, but of course, it's like when you lift a heavier weight in the gym, you are putting more demand on the muscle. And so it actually breaks. What happens when you get stronger muscles and you get leaner is that your muscle, when you lift, the muscle fibers are literally breaking when you lift when you lift heavier and heavier weights. And so what happens is your muscle fibers start to shred, and then the recovery is where they repair and they actually fuse back together and they heal. And that's what gets them a little bigger. And it's like microscopically bigger. That's why, if you've seen somebody go through a health journey and they're, working out and blah, 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 it takes time to change your body composition. I've been lifting weights for like just about 10 years now, and you can tell, but when I first started doing it, you couldn't really tell. And then you could kind of tell, and then you could tell. So, and you go through obviously different phases of how much weight you have and vice versa. So I think just to remember that it is not comfortable. Like I did a workout class yesterday. The whole time was like, fuck, like it's hard, it's hard. You're deep breathing. You're telling yourself you got this. You can do another rep. You can go a little heavier. And, I'm squatting or I'm doing ab things and I'm like, fuck, this is burning me. But I know that my abs are going to be stronger. I know that my legs are going to be stronger. I know that I'm going to feel better. I know that I'm going to look better too. Like all these things. But at the end of the day, I do it because of how I feel after. And it's the same reason why we put in the work now, even though we might not want to. You're doing it for the long game. You're playing the long game. And I think that is why I'm so willing to go through the discomfort of growth and like hitting my capacity edge, my limits. I can probably handle like 25% more work. I totally could. Um, I don't know what my limit would be where my quality of life would decline significantly, and I don't wanna do that. I really wanna have longevity in my career. I feel like I'm gonna be in the public eye doing this type of work truly till I die. I know that, like, even if even if we I built and sold a company and had 8 figures just sitting in the fucking bank or assets, I would still be doing this. There's no, timeline for me, and I think because there's no timeline for me, there's also a feeling of, "Well, I'm in it for the long game, so let's fucking go," where I am finding ways to enjoy it because I know I still have to sustain this for 60 more years or whatever. So, let this be a lesson to you in, like, if you're gonna go through the work required, make sure you actually enjoy the work required. Um, or else it's not sustainable. Fun is the only sustainable thing. I say this all the time. I think I need to make a t-shirt that says the only sustainable way is fun. Or I don't know, I need to rephrase that, but whatever. So yeah, I mean, I think I've just allowed myself to like be honest with my friends. I had a I've had multiple friends reach out and I'm like, hey, I want to spend time with you or I want to catch up with you, but can we do it in 2 weeks? Can we do it whatever? Can we do it in the new year? Because I just need to be honest with myself about what I can handle. And I've had to stop feeling bad about, hey, I need to move this meeting, or hey, can we actually postpone this? Or hey, instead of this, can we do this? And I've had to get over this thing that I used to do, which was like when something was on my calendar, it was on my calendar. And if I had to reschedule it, then that means I was a flake. I used to really feel that way about rescheduling, but I've recognized like it's part of it and I've had to stop overcommitting myself. I don't know that I'll ever be good at that, but um yeah, I think that I'm starting to learn the actual true capacity that I have. And what I want to tell you is that it's way higher than my mind told me that it was. I was always preemptively scared I was going to hit my capacity, but I actually never did. And so I was like preparing for something that wasn't even happening rather than just fucking going for it, hitting capacity, be like, okay, shit, now I got to like figure that out. But that's really the approach that I think you should take is like max your capacity, then you can, you know, hand stuff off or whatever. So, um, yeah, it's just taught me a lot about the mind. It's taught me a lot about our own self-perceived limitations. It's taught me a lot about identity and what it means to operate from the version of you who is like it's like the next identity version of you. When I really tap into like my highest self, I bring her into present day reality and show up like her and act like her and move like her and think like her and kind of like use her to advise me. And I just keep getting these messages of like, just keep going, you're fine. Like you're fine. Your mind is just being dramatic. And I am so dramatic. But that's because I'm a performer. And you're probably dramatic too. Like I love me a good drama. But when our mind goes so far into drama, then we create problems, especially in the business. So I've learned to kind of tame the dramatic part and tell her we're fine, it's okay, we're all good, no one's dying. Like I'm still eating healthy, I'm still sleeping, I'm getting movement in, like I'm sure is it as optimal as it was? No. Is it as, blah 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 as it could be? No, but like I'm doing it. And yeah, it's what it is. So I think just had to give myself more grace than normal. I've had to take the pressure off myself. I've had to really just focus on what I can control, which is like doing my best. And yeah, like what does that even mean? I think just showing up with our best and knowing that we might let people down or we might let ourselves down too, but it's just kind of part of growth. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope this resonated with you in some way. Maybe you're hitting your max capacity as well. And maybe I put some words to how you've been feeling, but I do just want you to know that it's part of it, and you're gonna do this where you kinda hit a ceiling, and you're like, "Ooh," and you're like hitting the ceiling, and then you have to kinda actually, like, come back down, breathe, strategize, because you can't get anything done when you're in that hypervigilant kind of fight or flight state. You need to kind of breathe, reset, take a step back, and then make a plan to go through the ceiling, right? Because going through the ceiling requires kind of crashing the ceiling, and there's going to be a little bit of extra energy input to go to the next level. So we need to kind of zoom out a little, almost like a elastic band or a slingshot. We need to step back in order to accelerate forward. And then we're just basically doing that over and over again. Zoom back, shoom, accelerate forward. Okay, we're hitting another ceiling. Okay, let's zoom back. What's not working, blah, blah, blah. So it says repetitive process, and I'm just in the, oh shit, I need to pull back. Even when I want to keep going really hard, I actually need to pull back more, think more, strategize more, and then, pew, right? So that I can fly forward. And other people say this as like, no, it's like, I'm going to totally butcher this line, but it's like slow is smooth and fast is rough or something. And it's not about sprinting the whole time. Hence why I started running distance, because I was reminded of the fact of steady, consistent energy will always beat a one-time sprint. And though you might have ebbs and flows in your energy, I certainly do. We're women. If you're if you're a woman listening to this, we are not consistently in our best because we have hormones, emotions, and we are very influenced by the moon and all the things. And we're bleeding a week out of the month. So we can't expect the same output every single day, but if we can consistently show up over the year, that is what matters. And you can obviously optimize with your cycle and with all of that stuff so we can, batch content and all these logistical, practical things that we can do in order for us to stay consistent, right? So yeah, these are all things that I'm asking myself of how can I make everything easier? What systems can I build? Can I batch more? The answer is always yes to batching. I used to be so resistant toward it, but I just realized like I need to do it if I want to keep doing all that I'm doing. I need to batch. It's so inefficient to not batch. And then yeah, just like taking a step back to see what do I need and who can help me do that thing. So, yeah, I hope this is helpful. I am excited to keep sharing tools with you as I learn them and grow, but I know that I think a lot of us are feeling this way where we're like on a roller coaster and just know you're not alone in this and it's really just about taking care of yourself, checking in with yourself, asking what you need, what are the things that are draining you, what are the things that are lighting you up, and then continuing to do more of what lights you up and starting to continue to let go of what doesn't and really focus on the things that are faucets. What is filling you up and let go of the things that are drains. This is going to help you sustain your energy and sustain things and also continue to let the business grow and, building the systems and all that stuff too, but like allowing your energy to stay high. So anyways, I love you. Thank you for being here. I hope this resonated with you. I would love to hear in the comments if you're in a season like this, or maybe you're not in a season like this and you're like, damn, I want to be in a season like this, and that you took something away from this to help you be in more of a season of true overflow. Like, my goodness. So I love you. Thank you for listening. And it would mean the world to me if you share this with a friend or a few friends who are going through it. And yeah, I'm excited to have you here and love you. And I will see you soon. Okay, bye.